As with the 9th team in Sacramento, number 10 in Las Vegas, and the 11th in Baltimore added just yesterday, the 12th team is also based in the United States in Shreveport, Louisiana. They'll be called the Shreveport Pirates, but they take their real identity from their owners, the father and son team of Bernie and Lonnie Gleiberman, beloved by all the politicians in Ottawa because they slept better knowing they were more popular than the football owners. It remains to be seen how they sleep with Bruce Firestone assuming control of the Rough Riders. We'll talk to him and to one of his predecessors, Louisiana Lonnie, plus the owner of the CFL's Baltimore Colts, if they're the Colts, Jim Spiros, and to Commissioner Larry Smith, who can say he has been to all 12 CFL cities this week almost. First, here's Rod Smith with the making of the CFL map as we know it today.
Commissioner Larry Smith's vision of a North American-wide CFL is a lot closer to completion following a whirlwind week. In fact, if this week's activities were made into a movie of the week, it might be called Mr. Smith Goes to Towns. Smith's first stop was the nation's capital, yes, our nation, with Ottawa football fans completely fed up with the Gleibermans and the sold-or-full deadline looming, a familiar cast of characters saved the day. Former Ottawa Senators owner Bruce Firestone is the Rough Riders' new head honcho, and Firestone has already hired a management team. Former CFL chairman and Saskatchewan Rough Rider president Phil Kershaw is the team's new president and director, while the management team that led the Toronto Argonauts to the 1991 Grey Cup has been reunited. Mike McCarthy, the former Argonaut general manager, is Ottawa's player personnel consultant. And his new boss, the man he had to fire as Argo head coach, is Adam Rita. Rita is both head coach and director of football operations after 1 year running the offense for the Grey Cup champion Edmonton Eskimos. And Rita welcomes the pressure of his new position.
Pressure, there's no pressure, you know. We're going to go out there to win, and we're going to find a way to win. There's no pressure. What can they do to me? Fire me?
Stop number 2 on Mr. Smith's tour found him in Baltimore, Maryland, home of the CFL's 11th franchise, the Baltimore Colts. Sound familiar? After 9 long months of trying, Virginia businessman Jim Spiros finally secured a lease arrangement at Memorial Stadium and was awarded a CFL franchise Thursday. They were so confident about the bid that even before Baltimore had a franchise, they had a coach, Don Matthews, who left the Saskatchewan Rough Riders last month. The only problem still facing Spiros is the name, Colts. The NFL is claiming they still own the rights to the Colts name, but Spiros is not convinced.
It would be the Baltimore Colts with a whole different logo, and I just want people to know here today that we're going to pursue the name. I want you to stay tuned, and I'm not going to be intimidated by the National Football League.
The final destination on Mr. Smith's tour was Shreveport, Louisiana. Where, you ask? Yes, Shreveport is the place where the CFL's 4th American franchise and the Gleibermans now call home. The Shreveport franchise will be known as the Pirates, and Lonnie and Bernie Gleiberman will try to sell a football-crazy state on the Canadian, not Cajun, brand of pigskin.
The community in 3 weeks' time sold 7,000 season tickets. It's tremendous. We look forward to having a great year. We look forward to selling out the opening game down here, July 13th, I believe it is, against the Las Vegas Posse.
As part of the deal which saw the Gleibermans divest themselves of the Ottawa Rough Riders, the Gleibermans took 5 Ottawa players with them to Louisiana, including Dexter Manley. And they have to pay the CFL $1.7 million to operate the expansion team. Although Mr. Smith was not in Las Vegas this week, the CFL's other 1994 expansion team, the Posse, was making news. They have a coach, former Indianapolis Colts head man Ron Meyer, and they have a marquee player, Tamarick Vanover. The All-America wide receiver and kick returner just completed his sophomore year at Florida State University, where he caught 87 passes and scored 13 touchdowns in his 2 years. Vanover opted for the CFL's Posse and a 4-year contract after the NFL refused to grant him eligibility for this year's draft because he was only a sophomore. And so the Canadian Football League will be a lot less Canadian heading into the '94 season. Will the 4 new U.S.-based teams be the shot in the arm the CFL desperately needs? Stay tuned. For TSN Inside Sports, I'm Rod Smith.
Up next, Ottawa Rough Riders past and present. The old owner has a new team. It's now Lonnie Gleiberman of the Shreveport Pirates. And the new owner is a former NHL owner, Bruce Firestone.